Welcome back, guys.
What's up?
It's Nihaal.
And I'm Daniel.
And we're back to our podcast.
Name pending still, but I don't even think we made any progress towards that.
If you guys are already listening to our second episode, that means that we did good in our first episode, so thanks for that.
We almost didn't do it. Well, we almost didn't get to a second episode, but we're committed to it. We like where it's going, so we're gonna stick through with it.
And I'm glad that we're not canceled yet either.
Oh yeah. Well, you haven't said anything cancelable.
Pretty much the goal is not really the money or anything. It is to not get canceled.
Yes. No cancellation, please.
How's your day so far, man?
Oh, I've been awake for the whole day, dude. I'm pretty sure I was up earlier than you for once.
Oh my god.
Because I had to go to work. I went to the gym. Went to the gym. Went to work. And then I came straight here.
Dude, wake up earlier than me is not really an issue. I wake up at 9. Is it earlier than that?
I thought you wake up 8.
If I work out, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was up at 6 this morning.
Okay, okay. Cool. Sounds good. I had a day full of cleaning. Daniel came to my basement. This is where we.
This is the cleanest I've ever seen. No diss, but it's actually really nice to clean too.
Yeah. Yeah, I just get lazy sometimes, go on slumps, but then at the same time, when I clean, it's also very fun too.
It's refreshing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
it is.
I got to do that for my room.
It's nice and peaceful. Okay, what's the topic for today?
Well, today we're talking about, as you know, it's kind of convenient to talk about this, but right now you are living without your parents right now.
I am.
You are living without your parents with your younger brother.
I'm an independent man.
You're
ish. I say that I'm independent because my brother's 16 right now, and we just don't see each other eye to eye. I only have one little brother. He's 8 years younger than me. Do you have any siblings?
No, just me, man.
Yeah.
Kind of leads us into our topic today, which is basically it's about siblings and parents.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing I think we're focusing on is
there's that, siblings. And it also goes to show that you want things that you want opposite of what you have, kind of thing. So if you have straight hair,
yeah,
you're like, oh, I think I'd look good with curly hair,
yeah,
kind of thing. So there's always something. So maybe for me, dude, I love you, bro, if you're watching this, but sometimes I'm like, damn, if I was an only child, life would be kind of different, kind of thing, right? So stuff like that. And you probably thought the same, right?
I honestly, funny enough to contrast that, I don't feel the same way. I'm kind of happy just being just me, man.
No way.
It's you
don't feel.
I feel like I have enough I'm close enough with my friends to compensate for that. I have enough people in my life as a constant that I don't feel like I need a sibling.
So would you say that you try to keep your friends close because of the emptiness that you feel without a sibling?
I feel like I feel like I keep my friends close regardless, but that could be something to think about. I think
if it's really deep, maybe
on a deeper level, maybe. But honestly, I feel like I have enough space and enough closeness with my friends to feel like I don't need siblings.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I don't like people all up in my business all the time, and then I also don't like being super alone all the time.
So what do you think siblings are in your perspective from what you've seen? Me and my brother, obviously, I'm sounding like my brother's chill. He's just 16. He's going through a phase, whatever.
I would say then from what I see with siblings, it's somebody that you love unconditionally, but in some cases only because you have to. Kind of a funny, but a little cynical taste on it. You know what I mean? Because it always with any friends that I have with siblings, it's unless they're super, super close, it always just feels like you gotta love them. It's a little bit of a chore, but you have to. Whether it's a step sibling or it's an actual sibling, that's how I feel like it is other than if you're really close.
There's sibling, and also if you both live in the same house, that's a completely different thing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, I was watching this show called Scratch. I'm not. What's it called? Something with Scratch. I'm not sure, but pretty much it's a love story, and then after that, yeah, I'm into rom-coms. This wasn't even a rom-com. This was just pure a sad love story kind of thing.
Right.
And the character ends up in a hospital bed and stuff.
Yeah.
And the wife's there, kind of thing, and the wife and his family. So it's the only family there, not friends. Mm-hmm. Friends are not going to. I mean, I don't know the type of friends you have, but there's obviously levels to friends, but
Yeah.
most of the time, like if you're on the hospital bed or whatever, it's gonna be like your siblings and your significant other.
Yeah.
Right? Or your parents, right?
For sure.
So that's where family becomes important, and they'll only be like true to those experiences if you put an effort to them before, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're just neglecting them before and stuff, then you can't really expect them. You can't be like, oh, you're my brother, oh, you're my this,
Mm-hmm.
because you haven't put it before. So
That's fair.
you kind of have to take that seriously.
So my question now is just on like based on how you feel like, and you've been saying that you don't always see eye to eye with your brother. What are some of the pros and cons to having a younger brother?
Okay, so in my scenario, he's 8 years younger than me. So like there was a phase, right? Like when he was like a kid, like 4 years old and everything.
You're 12, right?
Yeah, like I was 12. Like those are fun times because he's just like a little kid. You just throw him.
Yeah.
He kind of just follows. I mean, honestly, the reason why he turned out the way he is right now is definitely because of how I brothered him growing up. I definitely did do my fair share of bullying. I confess to bullying my little brother. Like little things, just like teasing him and all that stuff. But as he gets older, I guess like that really got to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely not the way that I am. Like I'm a little bit more, definitely not the popular kid type in high school, but just like a little bit more studious and
I feel like
low key. But he's like the opposite.
I feel like between the two of you, it's like
Massive difference.
Massive difference because I feel like you have less of an ego and less pride, or like in the sense of like.
He's gonna watch this video. Wait, do you say I have less of an ego and less pride?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily like a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I think in a sense it's like.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's more like there's things that he's conscious about that you're not really.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. That's what I kind of meant.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Looking a certain way or being a certain way,
Yes.
where you're just kind of more like, I want to do this. It's fun.
I'm literally wearing like the same shirt that I've had for like 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's like you're gonna do this because it's fun. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this because I'm comfortable. I'm gonna do this because
Exactly.
it's a new experience.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
that's nice hearing it from another person.
Yeah.
I've thought of that and stuff, but like
Yeah.
hearing it from someone else is nice. But that's exactly what it is. And also, dude, keep in mind this guy's raised in the social media generation. We say, okay, they're like, people are like, oh, but you were raised in social media generation too. No, like,
Yeah, but like
we
it's-
had like crackberries, bro.
Yeah, not even that, but it's like growing up for us, the most we had was maybe like grade 8. We started getting on Facebook,
Exactly, Facebook.
playing Farmville.
Maybe like MSN.
Yeah, we didn't even have like smartphones growing up. Like I didn't get a smartphone until like I hit high school.
I didn't get a smartphone until I got in university. So.
Exactly. So like like some of these kids we're seeing now are getting smartphones halfway through elementary school. Like
Exactly.
it's crazy.
I think Michelle got his in grade 6. So.
Crazy, man.
I know, yeah. It's like it's
Crazy.
so the detriment. So these guys are pretty much the guinea pigs of their generation, right?
Yeah.
We were the guinea pigs of our generation. We're still fucked. Like,
we're up regardless, but like
no, like, dude, social media definitely did play. Like, I was on it a lot back in like grade 9, 10 and stuff, and maybe that's one of the reasons why too. Like, when you're feeling a little lonely, you try making friends, not friends, but like get closer to people through social media. But you realize that social media.
It's in a sense, it's also just kind of at first. I feel like for us, it was more of an attention grab.
Yeah.
You try to attract attention of other people like that, right? And even though it is still now, it's more of an influencer now than us using it to get influence,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've like growing up, like my parents have always kept pictures of us.
Yeah.
Like just in a hard drive, not on social media or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And with that inspiration, like I started like the Instagram page with just like all these memorable things. But I do it purely for memories. I don't do it for thoughts. So
Exactly.
that's what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shouldn't be like showing off like, oh, I got the newest shoes, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
It's more so that, right? So sorry, let me just mute my phone too.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah. Siblings wise, how about okay? The thing about having a little brother that was dope is that since he was a brother, like he doesn't. I say this to him all the time, but he's still like, oh no, I did it myself. But I brought him into sports, right? Like if it wasn't for me, like if he didn't see an older brother that was as active, like during like when he was growing up, like when he was like grade 4, 5, 6, those are like my prime like. Okay, I hate using the word prime because obviously I could still get better.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I'm only 24 right now, but like
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like back when he was like grade 4, 5, 6, when I was in high school or whatever, it was like he saw me enter, like he used to be in the sidelines for like my tournaments, like see me practice, like practice with me, etc., etc. And he's still a small kid, right? And he's still figuring out what to do. Even though I picked volleyball and he picked basketball, he's still like, you know,
He's
determined.
He works hard for it.
He works hard for it, yeah. And yeah, so that's the biggest thing that I liked as having as a sibling, you know.
Have that kind of sports buddy in a way, right?
Yeah.
What about like
the 1v1s? By the way, okay, I feel like we've been saying a lot of bad things about my brother, but by the way, I tell this story to everybody. We played 1v1 on our driveway, like basketball, me and my brother, 1v1 on our driveway every year since he was in, I want to say like grade 3.
Yeah.
Right? And when he got to grade 6, like we used to play up to 100 points, right? And I used to beat him every time, and the rule was that I can't do layups for the last point because it's not fair. He's like half my height.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to grade 6, he beat me for the first time, and I still haven't beat him since.
That's crazy, yo.
He could beat me in a 1v1 anytime.
Now,
like,
even with layups
now, even with layups or whatever, and it's like by a huge margin too.
Yeah.
He's a walking bucket.
Yo,
so.
your bro's really good.
Yeah, he's really good at basketball. So, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say like, and not necessarily trying to be biased between just the interpersonal, but like just having a younger brother in general. What do you feel like is the downside? Not necessarily pertaining to him as a person, just more to having a younger brother.
The downside is, for me, like, I can only speak on behalf of being 8 years older, by the way. I can't compare it to, like, a younger brother that's, like, 1 year younger.
Yeah. Because you can be totally different, like, closer than stuff
that's
like
completely different.
Or
but
different circumstances.
8 years younger brother, right now, especially with my, like, parents away, and it's just us two in the country.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, deciding if I should be a parent to him or a brother to him. And I was 16 not too long ago. I was 16 like 8 years ago, right? So I kind of know the feeling of like the freedom that he has right now. And 16-year-old me would be like, yo, let him do whatever he wants to, this. But now I'm 24. I know the implications, like just the hardships.
Well, yeah, because like you don't know as much when you're 16.
Yeah, you said a quote a while ago. I think like last year that like really hit me. It was you love or you learn.
Yeah.
You love or you learn, or you live and you learn. Those two quotes. It's just I think that's what he has to go through. Like I could say so much, but he's like, oh, you know, you're not
experience is the best teacher, man.
But dead ass, you're gonna.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's gonna be a day where I'm gonna say I told you so to him about some things, and you know, that's all I could do at this point. So.
I'll say like it might not apply to everybody, but in my opinion, it's like an "I told you so." If you've learned something and somebody already says "I told you so," you've already heard it and you've told it to yourself a bunch of times. You've already like been like, "Fuck, man, I knew it," or it's like, "Fuck, man, he did say it." So you're already running that over your head a bunch of times. But like, I guess I'm not, like one of the things I want to touch upon with you being an older brother as well is like, what is something that you feel like could make your relationship closer then?
I'm not gonna keep blaming it on him, but I'll blame it on myself too. But just being more open, being more communicative. It sounds like literally like a loving relationship too, this is pretty much like a loving relationship as well. But like it's just sure. I think a lot of anxiety and stuff is from overthinking, and overthinking is gonna be a different episode. But just having a little dude running around, or like, you know, like pretty much Nihaal just like running around the city and not telling me where he is. That's scary because you just go to dark thoughts right away. It's just like, oh shit, this is like, you know, if he's riding a bike in the dark, it's like, oh shit, he hit a car, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like if he's more communicative with me, then things would be so much better. But at the same time, you know, there's been times where he has tried to communicate with me, but then I kind of
push it off.
Not push it off, but like be a parent, like do what my dad would have said to me, kind of thing, right? So then that's why he probably stopped too. Fair enough. So then that's where the issue is. It's like, I don't know if I should be a parent or a brother because I'm trying to care for him, but at the same time, it's like he has to learn sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, like I kind of get that. It's like where do you like, because you don't like, part of it's like from just me inferring how you're saying that is like you hear this stuff from your dad, so that's kind of what you know. So that's what you pass down, rather than you got to take a minute to pause and like think about what you're looking at in terms like what's going on and how you would actually handle yourself. But I kind of get you on that too. I totally get you. Now that leads, what's it called? How do you think you would be if you were an only child? I'm so curious because I don't know.
I think people forget that I was an only child for 8 years of my life.
That is fair, but like
I know. Back then, I do remember, and my parents tell me too that like I've always wanted a sibling. I was really pushing for my parents for a sibling like all throughout my childhood, and you know when it finally came out 8 years later, I was like, I loved him. Like I'd probably say like we were like this until like probably like 3 years ago, right? Pretty much before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I said the P word. Now the video's gonna get blocked.
Oh, it's gonna get flagged. Now it's gonna show that thing at the bottom of the COVID stats, bro.
Now we can't get monetized.
Now I said the C word.
Oh my god, we're done. But yeah, it's just at this point, maybe it's because like I'm in a little rough patch with them. I'm just like, oh, I'd rather have the house to myself and just me. But at the same time, I know there's probably a little part of me that would miss just him being like in the other room, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. That's fair.
Just his presence. It doesn't necessarily have to, like, you know, when like couples get into fights and stuff, it's like as long as they're like right beside each other, they're okay.
Yeah.
But if they're in two completely separate rooms, then it's tougher.
You know what I feel like? I feel like aside from that, like, I feel like you wouldn't be a different person.
Me?
If I'm going to be so honest, I feel like you would not be a different person if you were an only child. I feel like I don't really know specifics in between that, but I feel like because you
definitely,
I feel like your outgoingness and your willingness to do things and try new things, and what you've gone through wouldn't change just because of your brother.
You know, you might be right because for Nihaal it would be completely different, 100%, because he had me to look up to as well.
Yeah.
But for me, like all my life, it was just my parents. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I have no other family in Canada and stuff.
Because in a sense, like obviously you weren't done developing, but a lot of your personality and all that stuff was kind of molded in those first
100%,
years.
yeah. The only reason why I'm social is because of my parents. Like both of them are very social in their communities too. So yeah, I can see that happening. That's an interesting take. I you know what, you might be right.
Yeah.
Definitely. You should. My brother's inspired me to do some things. Just but I don't know.
I would say you're like, for me, one of the things that I think inspired, like one of the things that I think is like inspired just from watching was like that one time I came over to play basketball. Like I think like literally soon after that, when we played, after seeing Nihaal play with me seeing you guys play and Nihaal play with you. That's when you kind of, around that time is when you took a jump back into volleyball a bit more, like sports and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's completely that, but maybe, like, do you think that maybe, like, just seeing how much he's improved over basketball and athletics pushed you towards, like, oh, maybe I should get back into this?
Oh, no, 100%. There's always the competitive factor.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if I was an only, like, I think I've told you this before, but my high school team, I'm the only of 2 players that still play volleyball. Wow. Everyone else just like kind of just gave up. Got girlfriends, got jobs, got into drugs. You know, like there's like a lot of different things after high school. But and I could have been that guy because I have an office job. I already have a little bit of belly, but I kind of just decided, hey, like, you know, I got to keep this going. And my brother definitely does push it because I can't be. I cannot. Okay, I can't beat him in basketball, but I'm not letting him beat me in volleyball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't let him be better than me at volleyball, so I'm definitely pushing for that still. So yeah, it's one of those.
I mean, because I don't know. I think about it now, like since we're talking about you, like I feel like I've thought about this myself if I actually had siblings. I thought if I had an older sibling, I don't know what I would be like because I don't know how they would have acted towards me. I feel like if I had an older sister, though, the only thing I could really think of, because I've had friends that ask me, it's like, yo, what if your older sister was like, she got around, you know? That's the only topic my friends...
a hoe.
Yeah. I didn't want to put it like that, but yeah, what if she got her, like, she was a hoe? I honestly feel like if I had the same personality I had now, that I wouldn't care. Because if my sister is older than me and has made it to this point, then I think, like, I think I just don't really think I'd have the emotional investment to it. I also don't think I'd just see. It's so hard because I can think of it only as the person I am now. But if I was the person I am now,
that's why it's so difficult. That's why these questions are so difficult. Like,
right?
If you asked like the brother question like 3 years ago, it would be completely different answers.
Yeah. I think if I had a younger sibling, I definitely feel like I'm the protective type. I feel like right now it's like whether if I had a girlfriend or if I have a friend in need, it's like, yo, if something's wrong, I'm gonna be there. If something's like up, I want to try to help. Like I don't necessarily, but I also think that I might parent a bit too hard too because I like to be in control of things a bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about being empathetic towards girls because you have a sister?
I don't think
like you wouldn't just break their heart just like that because you know how it is.
So this is more towards like if I had a sister, would I understand like others more in the sense like or girls more? Maybe if it was an older sister, I'm not sure. If it was a younger sister, then yes. I feel like an older sister depends. If we're close, then for sure. If we're distant, then I don't think I would have that care as much or understanding as much.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's so many things to think about though. Like
it's such a broad conversation.
Yeah.
If you guys are still listening, comment section below.
How would you? What should we ask them though to comment though? Like, what's it called? What's it like having a What's it like being an only child? If you have siblings, what's it like having siblings?
Like right now, I said that I'm 8 years older. Do you have a sibling that's 2 years younger, 2 years older? Like, how is it?
Tell us how it is, right?
Yeah, Daniel has no idea. We're just speaking to a camera, but I'm guaranteed that we're only going to get 8 views. 1 for me, 1 for you, and then other 6 from like just.
Yo, honestly, like I'll take the other 6, man. If even one of them comments, that would be like pretty cool. I just want to see somebody like.
That'd be so dope.
Like actually listen to us, like hear what we have to hear what we're talking about.
I was listening to like the randomest podcast today. Like it was just like on my Spotify Explorer or whatever, and then
right.
The girl was literally crying that she got 1 million streams on Spotify for a podcast.
That's crazy.
Like she was literally but there's like a mixture of all her podcasts. Like obviously she's been doing it for years, but just like 1 million streams.
1 million people your podcast has been listened to 1 million times.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
You know what's crazy? If we put this on TikTok.
One of the clips or what?
One of the clips on TikTok.
I'm so down.
You'll definitely
boom a bit.
Yeah.
Think we'd boom?
Yeah, exactly. One of my TikToks are at 130K views right now.
Wait, which one?
I just saw volleyball TikTok.
Okay.
The volleyball page. But yeah, people like watching rallies. So pretty much the thing about TikTok algorithms is that the longer the person watches the video, the higher chance it's going to be on the For You page, right?
Right.
They want to keep the thing engaged. The thing about volleyball rallies is that people watch it until the ball drops, right? So if I post a long volleyball rally, people just kind of watch it. So
that's what the frick? That's
so it's
so
like a
smart.
cheat code. It's a cheat code. It's been working.
Yeah.
It's been working. Consistently get like 10K views. 10K, that's like a city, bro.
Yeah, like that's a small town.
That's pretty much Maple.
Bro, that's pretty much your neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
it's my neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess alright, so as we kind of go on to that though, like moving on to where we're at, what kind, like, you mentioned earlier how you feel like you're trying to run the balance of being a brother and kind of a parent, but more towards a brother. What do you think in terms of being a parent though you would be to your kids?
Thing I'm dealing with right now is identity crisis because first gen immigrant problems is just everything that you're told here and then all the cultures and traditions that the parents are trying to bring back from there.
Yeah, I
kind of have to decide which way I'm supposed to go, and finding a medium is very hard for like some things. Like marriage, finding significant other.
Right. It's very different.
Or even just things like music, film, like everything. It's just it's tough. It's tough to decide. But future me, hopefully by 27 I get married. I don't know.
You got time. You got more time. If it's 27, you got more time than I do.
But yeah. Well, how about you? You're the one that wanted to say that topic, so talk to me.
Well, I found it like, because I always thought of it like, it took me a long time, I guess, to like hit university to realize how much my parents have done for me.
Yeah.
Because let's face like for me in any sense it's like, oh, I just felt like they were limiting me. But like you think about it, just put groceries on sale, got you your first phone, put you to school, put you through school.
Yeah.
So much money invested, so much time invested, so much love invested. And I think for me, thinking about how much that is for a parent, why wouldn't I want to do that for my own kid? But I also think that my parents did a good job of not spoiling me, not making me too much of a brat. So I would want my kid to kind of not similarly be like me, because I don't think I want my kid to be like me. I feel like my sense of humor is not good for what I want my son or daughter to be. But I think I want my son or daughter to understand what responsibility is. I would want them to understand what gratefulness is. I would want them to understand what value is, in terms of like, that's so broad, but it's like the value of money, the value of friendship, the value of family, the value of having morals, all those things. I would want my child to just be understanding and analytical, I guess. I would want to be a parent that can be there to support a child to understand that. More like nurture rather than guard, or not guard, like I'd rather be under somebody to nurture than not be a warden, you know? But I feel like as a parent, what I would want to, like, there's a lot of things though. Like, other than just having that kind of guidance, I would want to show my kid how to play baseball, because that was my first sport. I would want to show my kid things that interest, like me, like Star Wars. I would want my kid to nerd out on Star Wars. That would be big for me. But other than that, I don't really feel like there's much I would push onto them, whether it's family traditions or not. Like, I feel like I should get them to understand where I come from the Philippines.
So you wouldn't push it. So you wouldn't be absolutely devastated if they don't watch Star Wars, if they don't.
No, because but I would want, like, I would love it for them to nerd out with it, so they could, like it would be something that I pass on that I found so fun, something that I like really loved as a kid. But I think overall, I just want my kid to be happy, but understand that understand what you have to put into this world. And obviously that's not going to happen when they're 5, but I would want to nurture them to that as they get older.
Yeah, you just got to put them in that environment kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And it's a hard thing to do. I'm talking about it, but it's not easy. Like, my parents struggle with me being an ass, like not telling them where I'm going, that like wasting money, or like my parents struggle with me like lying to them, or like sneaking a girl over, for example, stuff like that. They've dealt with a lot of my own bullshit, right? But it took a long time for me to understand the why of why they give me a hard time, or why they wanted it this way. And I just hope to my kid, like, I want to be somebody who
You know what? I think like 24, 25 is a weird age where you start understanding it. I think until then
it's not fun. Like, it's you become more grateful, but it's also not fun, because it's like you feel guilty too.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like an identity crisis, because like you miss those fun days, but you also remember how much you put some people through.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, like,
parents got a parent.
Yeah.
Parents got a parent.
Deadass, like, parents, like, they have to do what they have to do because they love their kid.
Yeah.
They have to do things a certain way.
Yeah.
But also, I think one thing I want to take away that I don't want to be like my parents is the pride of it. I want to be proud of my kid, but I don't want that to be something that drives me. Like, I feel like sometimes I notice that, like, from my parents, they would always be like, oh, like, you get this career, because it's like, oh, like, everybody's always asking you what you do, and I feel like that comes from a place of they want to brag more, or like not seem embarrassed or something like that, rather than, oh, like, get this because it's a good job, you can high pay, and you'll be set for yourself, you know. And I don't ever want to be somebody who's like, oh, you get this, you're embarrassing me, like, be a doctor, like, don't be this.
I think we're definitely breaking that curse, like, first gen Canadians, like us, like we're definitely breaking that curse of status kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially when that's all. Dude, I feel like we could go on tangents forever and talk about so many different topics, but yeah, just like chilling with like other people. Like, dude, I'm a brown person, he's a Filipino guy.
Yeah. Just
like seeing other cultures and stuff, because like I feel like if you're within the same culture or chilling with the same people within your culture, that's when the status things come.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
it's infighting in a way, right? It's just competition within yourselves.
Yeah, exactly, right. Whereas me and Danny, I could care less about what he does. Sorry, dude.
Well, you know, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's like, bro, like, you could have whatever job.
Fine, I guess I'll just go like jump off a building.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ah, shit. Now we're not gonna get demonetized. You promoted.
I'm not saying other people should do it. I'm just gonna say you made me feel bad, and I'm joking. But I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like,
because like even like the cottage trip that that you're planning in December, like there are people from different backgrounds, different jobs, like like different schools, different everything.
Yeah.
And that's the best part of together
as friends,
it's
right?
just like that's what it should be, right?
Exactly.
Whereas I feel like back home and stuff, there's definitely more gossip and all that stuff and stuff.
Like here's something to think about in terms of that, like from parenthood. Like if you think about it, like our generation of parents, they're from the same culture, they're from the same country, they probably have similar family backgrounds and stuff like that. If you look at our people that we know that are getting married now, some of them are just completely different. For example, I want to shout out my friends Andy and Anna, but Andy's Vietnamese, Anna is Pakistani. They are two totally different cultures, two totally different backgrounds. One's a nurse, one's an engineer. Just like both are from big families, but their personalities, everything, their cultures, how they grew up is totally different, and things like that make it work. And like
that was a beautiful wedding.
It was pretty fucking fun.
Yeah.
Yo, I was so freaking wasted, man. But but if you look at that, like I don't know, like on your end, if you have people like that, or it's just different scenarios, different people, different backgrounds, even if it's the same culture, but like if you're like here nowadays, this generation, it's. Even if you're from the same, it's a lot more different. It's a lot different than if people from the same cultures back then were to get together. Or even just be friends, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. We have to figure it out.
Yeah, and I feel like just leading that and segueing that into like parenthood, that can diversifying that and having your child understand that it's a big world with many different opportunities, many different avenues in life, and points of understanding can make them just even better than what we grew up as, right? Or even our parents before us.
Yeah, I think it's about time to wrap up this episode.
How close are we to volleyball? Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close, but at the same time, I feel like we've been going on a lot of tangents.
It was but it was I like what we talked about though. I think it was something we were both passionate about. We kind of blended it together, right?
Yeah.
But like, I would say, yeah, another thing to comment if you guys want to if you guys want to comment down below, how do you think you guys would be as parents? What do you think you guys would want, want to raise your child?
These are just some questions that we're talking about, like when we're 24, 25 years old.
Yeah, it's just like things we think about, whether it's a shower thought or you're lying down in bed. Well, it could be literally something when you and the boys are online or just eating food out, like talking about this stuff.
Exactly. And
I feel like that's some of the things that we like to just do. This is kind of what it stems from. Like, we were eating shawarma and having a conversation once. This is where it kind of came from.
Exactly. Shout out shawarmas. It's the best cheap food that's kind of healthy compared to burgers and stuff.
True.
So it's very nice.
I mean, unless you want to just buy lettuce from Walmart and eat that, but I don't think I want to do that.
All right.
But honestly, guys, thank you for listening. Even though it's only our second, we really appreciate you guys for listening to us. Us going off on tangents. Hopefully you guys take away something from this too, because we just love talking about these kind of things.
Hopefully my mustache gets bigger next time.
I'm gonna keep shaving mine.
All right, sounds good.
Take care, guys.
All right, see ya.